not going to stay on for very long, but I usually read my comment section, and shout out to my moderators who help kind of keep the chats clean. But I usually read the chats after my live stream. I don't like to really engage in the chats on my live streams because I feel like if I'm on a train of thought that I want to kind of stay there, I find that a lot of people, they'll come into your chats, they'll try to troll your chat so that it throws your line of thinking off. And so I typically don't read the comments until like after the chat. And it's interesting. I get a lot of different comments, and some of these chat comments, you get your normal trolls, and I do scrub my chats of the trolls. So if you're like somebody who is just keep on posting something like flags or symbolisms or stuff like that, I will scrub you from my chat because, like, for me, like I said, I'm a very politically neutral channel. And someone's like, you're either heterosexual or homosexual. And it's like, no, you're either a lemming or you're not a lemming. And I'm not a lemming. Okay. So I don't care what political allegiance people have. I don't care how passionate you are about this election. I don't care how passionate you are about your candidate. The only thing I ask when you come over to my content is to not put your shit on me. All right. And I'm very adamant about that because I don't believe that people should be bullied into political positions at all. No matter how sensible it may be to you, it is not your job to bully other people into a political decision. And I'm very firm on that. So in this channel, I am not about bullying people into political positions. I don't overly endorse any of these candidates because that's just not my thing, right? And if that's your thing, then cool. But just don't put your shit on other people. See, here we go with an ignorant person. And I am like, I don't actively go into these chats, but because hang on for a second. Like, you're not gonna come into my chats with this ignorant stuff, so I'm just gonna hide these users from my channel because they like to come in here trolling, and I'm not gonna tolerate that. You know, you're a weirdo, and I'm not going to tolerate your ignorance. So, to the extent, if I see it, I'll try to scrub it, but I don't pay attention to the chats because I like to stick to the points that I'm making, right? But I look at some of these comments, and, I think that it's perplexing for people to see a black woman fully convicted in herself, not on a bandwagon of ignorance, right? Because we just have to be that way, right? And even down to, I read a comment like, you're not a foundational black American. Well, you need to tell that to my granny and her mother, who have been in this country since the 1800s. Just because you don't agree with my political position does not mean that you have a right to take my blackness away from me or my legacy of blackness in this country. And this is the ignorance that I see with so many different people, where they think that they own the identity of other people. And you don't. You can't even own your own damn identity. And that's just word 100. Most of you people are running around floating, just jumping on ideologies. You have no damn conviction about yourself. And yet, when you see a black American woman with full conviction of herself, who really don't care about these perceptions of people, these societal expectations, I understand why that would be perplexing. But I am who I am, and I don't intend to change because I don't like the bandwagons of ignorance that a lot of people are on. Matter of fact, I think these bandwagons make you hateful people in society. That's what I think of you. I think you're hateful people in society. No matter what spectrum you're on, you are a freaking hateful person in society because you're that committed to ignorance. That's what I think about a lot of these people. So when you jump in my comments with your passionate ignorance, trying to go in with the ad hominem attacks, I don't really like see them, but then when I go and read them, I'm like sitting to myself, like if I peel back the layers of you, you're probably either an extremely unactualized person in society or you're fed. Because I know that sometimes these bots are nothing more than these feds who are trying to spread their hatefulness, guys, as a white or a black person, right? Because they need racism to exist. But I'm not on your bandwagon of ignorance. I'm not going to hate people because of their complexion. I'm going to hate people because of their characters. And there's a lot of characters in this nation to hate because they're wicked. And God says to hate wickedness. And so I absolutely hate wicked people. So I'm very indiscriminate about the things and the people that I hate and trust and believe they're all colors, even the ones that look like me because they're traitors, some of them. But I see people when you're a person who is more centered on your faith and truly on your God, these bandwagons of ignorances are nothing for you. I'm on team Yahusha. I'm on team Yahusha Christ the King. And I understand that there is nothing that any fleshly man can do for mankind to resolve the conflicts of mankind. So for me, I just sit back and I look at these things with such a cynical eye. Some of it makes me upset. But for me, it's like it is what it is, right? Another comment I get is belittling my intelligence, right? And you can break down a full economic case, right? An intelligent economic case, and you'll have these passionately ignorant demons coming in. Oh, it's a black woman. Let's belittle her intelligence. Let's discredit her intelligence. And I understand that most of those comments are coming from Talmudic Democrats, and I was very specific about that because some of you hate black people so much that you are invested in all black people being unintelligent because your school system does a great job of making sure that that happens. But I say that to say that I don't hate people. I hate ignorant people. I hate wicked people. This is a politically neutral channel. I am a Ados Freeman. And I don't care what bandwagon of ignorance you may be on, right? You can't take my blackness away. Matter of fact, anything that you think you can take away from me is just ridiculous, right? And nobody owns my notion of my lineage or my heritage but me and my family. So anybody else can kick rocks. It's like, and again, I'm not on a bandwagon of ignorance. I can look at all these little echo chambers. I can pull whatever makes sense, right? But you're on the bandwagon of ignorance. And you need me to be on your bandwagon. And I keep giving you the middle finger, like, go kick rocks. All right? You're passionately ignorant. You need a slave to your echo chamber. And I'm not interested. I'm not interested. You know? And, I look at these political witchings. If you ever want to see the true character of a person, look at how some of these people are rocking during these political cycles now, right? If you ever want to see the soft bigotry, inner bigotry of people that you thought was kind of cool, right? Get to these political cycles. Have a political position that is contrary to what they think you should be believing as a melanated black person. And then you'll understand how bigoted some of these people who try to act like they're your friends really are. And Malcolm X told us about these people, right? and even down to some of these older black people, these angry black men. Stay the fuck off my line. I don't align with your passionate ignorance. I don't. You're the reason why black people for generations have been stuck in the marginalized mindset because y'all passing on this generational rhetoric and struggle and allegiance to these political parties instead of telling black people we should be neutral. Of all the groups in America, nobody should know who the black American population is going to be voting for at any freaking time because we should be that independent. We should be the most independent group in America because neither one of these groups have really come through for black Americans. Let's just keep it real. The difference between a Democrat and a Republican is that Democrats will pretend like they're your friend. They will pretend like they're on your team. All the while they are leveraging you. Whereas the Republicans, they've had zero interest in black people like that. Not demonizing us, not creating narratives about us, even though there is a pocket of them who like to run on certain things. That deplorable pocket of the Republicans, they don't even represent all of the Republicans, so we don't really care about them, but they are pretty vocal, right? But Democrats have had a special interest in black people, fake friending black people. When you think about all of Malcolm X's speeches, he was talking about their asses. And he was talking about the black people that the Democratic Party continuously leverage to psychologically manipulate black people into being allied with them. And now they got black people on the Democratic side allied with all these struggle junkies, conflating their struggles with black struggle. So every time on the Democratic side there's LBGTQ, black people just better be in line with that shit because you guys struggle too. Remember what you guys went through, right? And they start conflating these people's struggles with ours, trying to group us into their struggle classes. You know? So it's just to say that, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, all I ask is that you don't put your shit on me. All right? Shout out to my black independents. Shout out to my black independents because you know what it is for sure. Ain't nobody going to be counting on our vote. Nobody. It's a luck of the draw with us. So you better be talking about things that we care about, or you're not going to get our vote. It's just that simple when it comes to black independence. We have zero loyalty to none of that shit. You can be a lemming to whatever you want to be, just don't put your shit on us. And the most hateful comments that I get when I'm talking about contrary political positions are the Democrats. I freaking can't stand some of you people. You make me want to throw up. And I don't blame Democrats for all of black people's problems. I'm just talking about the character, presentation of the party. You make me sick. All of you make me sick for the most part. So, you're not going to find allegiance over here. But I've been very clear on this channel. I have a special disdain for Democrats. I do. I cannot stand them. I abhor them because they hate black people that much and they slick talk like they don't. And this is just my opinion. Only a fool who is a foundational freeman would have allegiance to the Democrats. You're a fool. And I don't care how many of your elders keep convincing you that Democrats are for us. They're not. They just use a lot of black faces to pretend like they're for us, but they're not. And I'm not saying Republicans are for us, but what I'm saying is don't bite the bait that these people who are just overly talking about us and acting like they're our friends are it. When I look at people, I'd rather deal with somebody who don't have any interest in me, but have found like something that could benefit me versus somebody who acts like they have an interest in me and they're not doing shit for me. They're just pretending. They're just having me along for votes. And that's what the Democrats have done to Black Americans. That's why they are seeing the response of Black Americans in the cycle, right? There are always going to be staunch Black American Democrats. They were raised that way. They come from the HBCUs, you know, so that's just their life. There's no other option, right? But I want to remind these Democrats, especially the ones who are trying to question my blackness, you hoes didn't even support Kamala. You hoes didn't even support Kamala when she tried to run for president the first damn time. You didn't support her. She got 1% of the vote or the nomination from you guys. So you didn't even support her. So don't come over here. And not only did you not support Kamala Harris, you chose to support Joe Biden, a white man. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit, right? You trying to vilify Black people because Trump is a white man and y'all went so damn hard for a senile white man. At least the white man that some of these Black people are going for, at least he got his own faculties. At least his faculties are still there. The guy that you guys voted in, he's been a puppet. He's been a worse puppet than Kamala Harris. You know why? Because he's been just sitting up there vacant. At least she can talk from the earpieces, right? But at least she can talk. Y'all voted Joe Biden into this office. And even if the election was stolen, we don't know. Y'all still was riding for Biden. And that guy was literally not even remotely close to having the mental faculties of Trump or Kamala. So get off my block with anything related to voting for Democrats, and y'all voted this senile man into office. Get out of here with that. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. I just wanted to address this. There was another topic that I was planning on covering too, but I wanted to get on this because these people get into my comment sections with their passionate ignorance, and it's like you're a lemming and you want everybody else to be a lemming, right? You want everybody else to be a lemming to your passionate ignorance, right? You look at a Black woman who can think intelligently for herself and who is not on a bandwagon of ignorance, right? And you just gotta narrate her as being ignorant, discrediting her intelligence, right? Because that's the racism of the Democratic mindset. Black people are lower in your brains. So if we're not complying with your voting pathway, right? We're rogues. And now you want to take our blackness away. You want to take our intelligence away. It's like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do it. Right? But a lot of you people couldn't even debate me on Black people issues. I could debate you in my sleep. And that's just word 100. But anyways, I wanted to just keep this short and sweet. Check out that Kamala thing, the video that she did send over to that roast that she didn't attend. One thing about that, and I'm going to even say this, the Democrats don't even respect Kamala Harris. They don't even respect her. They can't even truly let her stand on her own. You know why? Because here she is. She's not making it to this little charity event, right? She's sending in a video, and they got that Molly chick bitch just going all behind her, right? Interrupting her, taking her, like being a part of her flowers, leeching onto her moment. It's like they don't respect Kamala Harris. They're leeching all these weird people onto her. That woman couldn't even just stand there by herself, do her little thing, right? They trying to be funny with this girl just going back and forth in the background. I'm like, really? Y'all could have kept that bullshit. Y'all could have kept that shit. And that shows you how much they don't respect Kamala Harris. She can't even freaking stand alone. She got to be leeched on to all these little weirdos. So, anyways, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I was just reading my comments. Some of these comments get reoccurring, and I'm just like, what the are you talking about? Like, you didn't comprehend anything that I said. You're going in just discrediting because I'm not literally like just tit to tit with Kamala Harris. Like, yeah, that's my girl. Titty kisses, right? I ain't all that on your girl Kamala. So you just got to come in with all this crazy shit. It's like, stop it. Just stop it. Like, seriously. But, anyways, I wanted to just put this out there because I just had too many passionately ignorant people. If you come on my content in my chat with that craziness, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be scrubbed. You're going to be scrubbed. Can I laugh like Kamala Harris? Nobody can do the Kamala Harris laugh like her. Okay? You can recognize, actually, there is one chick. She's an Indian chick. She does a Kamala Harris parody, and she does a good Kamala Harris laugh, right? But that's a like Kamala Harris laugh is a nervous laugh. When I hear her laugh, it's a nervous laugh. I'm pretty sure she has an organic laugh, but this is a nervous laugh. When she's trapped, caught up in something, it's like that nervous laugh kind of comes out, right? And that's what I've always seen that laugh as this is her nervous neck, right? And that's what it is, right? But you guys have a wonderful day. Love your neighbors as yourself. If you would not disrespect yourself or abuse yourself, don't disrespect or abuse your neighbors. Respect people's spaces, respect people's opinions, right? Even if they don't agree with you. I wish that we could go back to the days of nobody knowing who their neighbors were voting for. I wish we could go back to those days because people are like political like maniacs in so many degrees. They really have become political maniacs. They're like I said, this is like a witching. And this is truly become a witching of the souls of Americans because during these cycles, we hate each other. We hate each other. And then when somebody is selected, no matter who it is, right, we go through our disgruntledness, right? But then all of a sudden, like, we don't hate each other so much. We're just kind of like, oh, well, we're dealing with it, right? It's sad. Like, it's really sad. But, anyways, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I will catch you on the next one. Black men have been flooding my timeline, right? Just flooding my timeline. And, I think they're getting tired of being vilified in this cycle. They're like, of all the groups, why is it that we are always demonized because we choose to make a decision that is contrary to what this plantationary thinking tanks want us to make. So, black men have been getting it, and, shout out to my black men who are independent. I love you, kings. I love you, kings, so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.